Hi, welcome to Knit With Us with the Codependent Knitters. This is Lisa.
This is my friend Dawn.
And we are coming to you from Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. If you haven't watched the Knit With Us videos before, then this is not our usual podcast. This is just us knitting and chatting, and we won't be putting stuff up on the screen much, minimal editing. It's just a virtual knitting group, basically. So we hope you have some knitting handy and somewhere comfy to sit, and you're ready to knit with us. So, although we don't show our knitting work and stuff on this, we do talk about what we're knitting. So what are you knitting?
I am knitting my boxy for my mom, and it's out of Regia charcoal gray. And I finally divided for the front and the back. So that's an accomplishment.
But the boxy by Joji Locatelli.
Yes.
I'm working on my Groovy, which is by Annie Baker.
I like her name.
What's the name of it? Jumper Cables. So I'm knitting it in hedgehog fibers, the merino skinny singles, and the kid silk lace.
It's beautiful.
The colorway is Oracle. The colorway's Oracle. So I had just started it on our last episode, and we'll show it up close in our next episode. But basically, Groovy is done with one yarn, but I'm alternating these two yarns, kind of like Andre Mowry's Birds of a Feather. So I'm just working on my Groovy, and I've been tucking in my ends as I go, so I could have a nice, tidy project to show.
Wise. I remember you taking that out in the last podcast. That was like a rat's nest coming out of there.
Yeah. And what are you wearing today?
I am wearing Mountain High by Heidi. You always say Kermeyer. Yeah, it's a good go-to.
You've worn that before.
I have worn it before, and I've done a ton of her patterns. They're really...
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
You've done a few of her sweaters, right? And more? Or just... Okay. And I'm wearing Reina, which is by Nura Levola. And there's two Reinas on Ravelry. This is Reina, R-E-Y-N-A, and it's just a one skein fingering weight. The yarn is by, it's hard to tell from the distance, but it's actually all different pastels, and it's by Dyed by Lindsay. So I thought I had a project page on Ravelry for this, but I couldn't find it, so I'm going to have to make one.
This section here, it reminds me of chain link.
Chainmail?
No,
chain link fence?
Yeah, just the way it twists and turns. Yeah. It's really neat.
This is a super easy shawl, even if you're a beginner. And a lot of people now are doing it in different weights. So
that'd be nice to go worsted too, eh?
Yeah, Cozy Up with the Stitchin' Sisters have done a couple of Reinas and they've done a worsted, and I think maybe a DK.
Nice, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing this in worsted someday. Okay, so every Knit With Us video, we have a conversation topic, or we've put a thread on Ravelry for people to give us ideas for conversation topics.
Ask questions.
Ask us questions.
Because it's kind of nice because they get to know us. And we get to know them because you have to answer the question that you ask.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, a few weeks ago, it was Donna, who, she's been active in our group and also with the Fiber Friends podcast. And she's ordered bags for me too. Donna asked us which of the United States, or which states in the United States have we been to, and which is our favorite. So we made a list. And do you want to go first?
No.
Okay.
Just because I have to turn now.
Okay. You knit and I'll go first. Okay. I have a long list. I counted, and I've actually been to 21 states, but stayed in 17. So
that's like close
the other, I know, the other 4 were like drive-throughs. So
as get to work, so you can say you've been to half of them.
I know. So as I was making my list, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I think I've been to almost all of them. And then I counted them and realized, yeah, not even half. It just seems like there's a lot of states.
A lot of them.
Okay. So I've been to Hawaii. Just for a few days.
That's on the bucket list.
Yeah. I was a lot younger. I stayed in Honolulu for a couple of nights, and that was a stopover on the way back from Australia.
Oh, nice.
So, yep. So I have been there. I've stayed there. Loved it. I have been to Washington State, to Seattle. We did a family vacation there.
That would be a nice one too.
6 or 7 years ago. we were only there for about 4 days, and we stayed right close to like the Space Needle, and
nice.
we just did touristy things and loved it. And we did a little ferry ride like in the harbor and saw sea lions. What?
Can you imagine if you went back how much the tourism trip would be different? Where's the local yarn shop? I like this one. I like this one.
I know. Exactly. And like, isn't there lots around Seattle?
There is. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for a family vacation, we love Seattle, and would love to go back. So we actually decided to go there because at the time my son was really into Egyptian lore, and he had a Lego set called Pharaoh's Quest. He was like 5, but he was totally into it. Like, he knew everything about like mummification. We had books on mummification. He knew what Anubis guards were and all that stuff.
Nice.
And the King Tut tour, the North America tour, was in Seattle, and I think it might have been the last stop.
Awesome.
So we thought, okay, let's go. So we went to Seattle and did the Children's Museum and the Space Needle.
Here we go.
The David Chihuly glass blowing.
Oh, I like that one.
Oh my God, it's a permanent exhibit there. It's amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we loved Seattle. We've been to California. As a family, we've gone to like Anaheim, Orange County. But I'd been there before. I went on a school trip the first time when I was like 14. And we went to San Diego, San Francisco, like Knott's Berry Farm, like a bunch of places. So I do remember some of it. I remember San Francisco. And then I went back another time, just me. I had a friend that was living in Carlsbad. And like 2 blocks off the beach, my friend Patty was living there. And I went to visit her for a few days. And I loved it. It was amazing. So she took me around and we saw a few things. Yeah. That was cool. And I've been to Colorado. Mm-hmm. Colorado Springs. Specifically, that was a work trip. Was that before Ryan? No, it was when I was in Winnipeg. Yeah, Ryan and I were together then. But I mean, we're talking like 20 years ago. So this was one of my souvenirs. We went to Garden of the Gods, and this is my Garden of the Gods mug. And I made coffee in it today, and it almost overflowed. So I said to Lisa, like, this is 20 years ago. This is the size of coffee mugs. They're a lot bigger now.
A lot bigger.
That was beautiful. Colorado Springs, absolutely beautiful. I loved it. Garden of the Gods is like, the soil there was very red.
Oh,
and it's
nice.
just, you can like hike through all these like rocks.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. So that was fun. I've been to Texas, to Fort Worth when my husband was there for 2 weeks on training. So I went for a weekend in the middle of the 2 weeks, and we went to like the Fort Worth stockyards. And we only had a weekend. We didn't do a whole lot, but have been there. The last trip we just did was to Las Vegas, Nevada, and also went to Arizona because we went to the Grand Canyon.
Nice.
Yep. From our Winnipeg time, we went to North Dakota many times, like Grand Forks, Fargo.
Would that be the equivalent to Michigan here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like
right there.
Right on Manitoba borders with North Dakota. So, and that's a frequent place for people to go for shopping.
Yeah.
But and it was also on our way, we went to Minneapolis. My friend Patty, who I visited in Carlsbad, was then living in Minneapolis. So we went there. And then to get anywhere further than that, you go through all those places. So, so that Minneapolis is Minnesota. So that's another state. And we've gone to Wisconsin, like probably 7 or 8 times. So we've gone to Wisconsin Dells for family vacation. We love
That's the water park, right?
Okay. The whole town is water parks. Like there must be over a dozen. Like, it's crazy. Nice. But we've gone. Most of our trips have been to a place called Wilderness Territory.
Okay.
Look it up if you ever want to go there, because in the off season they have 3 indoor water parks. And in the summer season, plus 3 outdoor water parks, and they're only open to guests who stay at their facility. You can't stay somewhere and buy a pass. Okay. And we love it. Yeah, we've gotten great deals in the off season there. So Wisconsin, we've gone to Chicago, both from when. No, the only time we've actually gone to Chicago was when we lived in Winnipeg, but we've gone through Illinois since moving here. One moment. So I was just saying before the phone rang, we've been to Chicago. We've been to Illinois. That's the state. We've been through Indiana, but haven't, not true. We may have stayed near Gary, Indiana one time in a hotel overnight on a way home from Wisconsin. I can't remember. Michigan, obviously, because we're on the border now. So we've been to Michigan a lot. Various places too, not just Port Huron, like Detroit and Frankenmuth. Ohio, we've gone to Sandusky, Ohio, and driven through Ohio on the way to Pennsylvania. Also where my friend Patty now lives. So three states, Patty. Yeah, three states, Patty.
Sorry, Patty.
Yeah, Jack and I drove there a couple summers ago from Sarnia. Yeah. So we went to Philadelphia. Well, she lives just outside Philadelphia. We went into Philadelphia and we went to Hershey, to the Hershey Park.
Ooh, num num.
We've gone to Florida, both flying and driving. So we've been to like the Orlando, Kissimmee area, and we've also gone to Cape Canaveral and Cocoa Beach.
Okay.
And we've driven. So driving, we've gone through Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Ohio, and we spent one night in just near Crossville, Tennessee. So kind of west of Knoxville. I think so. Yeah.
I can't believe you remember all this.
Well, we had like points to use for accommodations for a hotel room on the way home. So it was like half an hour off the interstate path home and free hotel. So we did that. I didn't remember all this. I spent the morning looking it all up and making notes. And then we had, on the way home from my Pennsylvania trip, we came the other way. So we drove through New Jersey and New York State, but just driving through. Okay. And so that's a long list and over a lot of years. And we've had some fabulous vacations. And I don't know if I could pick a favorite. I mean, Wisconsin Dells is a family favorite because we love vacationing there, and we've gone there with friends a number of times. So, you know, we've been there several times. But I've liked many things. I love the ocean. So I actually love California because it's not as humid as Florida. But I could never live there because of earthquakes. Canadian blizzards, you know when they're coming. Earthquakes, no. So, you know, it's
more of a surprise.
So that's my list. Oh, and then we were also going to talk about, well, we'll do that after. So where have you been?
And my list is a little bit shorter. I kind of did mine at the last minute. Last year we drove to Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
And we actually went through the American side. So of course Michigan, which is pretty close. It's kind of feels a little bit like home.
Yeah.
We went through New York, Maryland, Virginia.
Speak up.
Sorry, I'm losing my voice. So over the years I've been through Buffalo, New York, Maryland. We went to the Maryland Sheep Festival. That was amazing. So we went through a bunch of Virginia, Pennsylvania, on a recent trip, Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts. That was a funny place. They told me we had to park the truck, right? And we went to Boston and we had to park the truck. But they would only give you a square, like the same size parking spot as everybody else had. But because there was no roof on this parking lot, they would charge double if you had, or triple if it was a pickup truck, but a double if it was a SUV. Oh. I didn't understand it. I'm like, but I'm still getting the same square as the car. So we laughed, and we actually ended up in the basement parking of a government building. And we actually had to provide them with ID to park there. Just stating like our citizenship.
So they were going to charge you for 2 spots?
No, it was the same spot. You got the same.
No, but you were paying the price
times.
Of 3, but you still could only take one.
Yeah. I was kind of. It was the only.
If they'd let you use 2 spots, because
I would have paid for 2 spots. Yeah. I feel like park sideways. That would have been great.
No door
But it was kind of funny because, in a way, I understood because most of the car parking was underground, and there was nothing that was over 6 feet.
Oh, okay.
Right? So he pretty much had a premium there because there was nothing above him. So yeah. I just kind of said, no, I'm good. I don't need to go to the Cheers bar that bad. Yeah. My husband wanted to go. I said, I'll drop you off and go back to the hotel. But when we found this, and it was funny because we actually had to show them our passports. And we didn't actually have our passports on us at the time, bad travelers. but we had our Nexus,
Yeah.
right? Because we drove over, so we kept them in the safe. But
Yeah.
I said I have Nexus, and he says even better. So we showed him that, and I'd never been asked that
For a passport, because it was a government building.
because it was a government
Okay.
building. Like I think it was a federal building.
Okay.
But it was public parking.
Huh.
But
They still
everybody
wanted
that
to see ID.
everybody that parked there had to show them ID.
ID. Okay.
Yeah, so it was all right. It was all cool.
So that
It
was
kinda funny.
Boston,
That was Boston, Massachusetts, and Ohio.
Sandusky as well.
Yeah, Sandusky as well,
Cool.
and Cleveland. So yeah,
What'd you do in
That's
Cleveland?
I don't remember. It was when I was a lot younger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So. And having grown up in Mississauga, we used to go across the border in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And Buffalo was the way to go for us.
How far was that? Like, how close were you to
About
the?
45 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty close.
45 minutes. So it was but it's funny because we would go that direction, and now we're going,
Yeah.
and we are very close to the border.
Yeah. Sarnia is on the border. Like, there's a Sarnia.
We're on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah. Sarnia, a bridge over a river, and Michigan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But like you said, it's a hard one to pick.
Do you have a favorite?
It's a hard one to pick a
I know.
favorite. I love the Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont area.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so beautiful there. But each one kind of has a thing to
Yeah.
offer, right? Like, yeah, like I said, I would love to go to Hawaii. My girl child would love to go to a black sand beach.
That would be nice.
Yeah, so she's kind of stoked about that. But yeah, it's...
I wish I'd spent more time in Hawaii. I mean, I was
Yeah.
a lot younger then, and it was like just it was part of, we had like layovers on our ticket home, so we could book it for as long as we wanted.
Oh, nice.
I didn't have any money left because that was at the end of 6 months of travel, but so we mostly, I was young, we went to the beach, we went to some of the markets, and
Oh, nice.
I would love to go and do, like, I want to go see a volcano, even though it could erupt at any time, but kind of like earthquakes, but not as scary. So I would like to do those kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
See a bit more, like a little bit more cultural and historical stuff.
Yeah. Or environmental stuff even. Like it's
Yeah.
supposed to be amazing for
Yeah.
rainforests and
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
And with me being the crazy plant lady,
oh, you would love that.
yeah, I would love it.
So what is a state you haven't been to that you would like to go to?
Oregon.
Did you just answer
Or
that with
Washington.
Hawaii?
Yeah, Hawaii
Oregon?
or Oregon or Washington. Like those.
The
I've
capital?
No.
The
other
state,
one,
Washington State.
State of Washington, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've just seen, my dad went there and he's brought back some pictures and it's just beautiful.
Yeah. Seattle was beautiful because you've got like the Rockies, right? So it's just
Yeah.
like being in Vancouver, like, or the Canadian Rockies. Seattle was just, the scenery around it was beautiful. And I think for me it would be Alaska, is someplace I'd love to go. That'd be amazing. It'd be neat to do a cruise.
My in-laws did that and I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
They said it was pretty amazing. It was
Yeah.
neat.
Just for the difference in like terrain, right?
Yeah.
The difference in how things, the scenery. So kind of also related a little bit, Pearl Viola, and I don't know if her real name is Pearl, but that's her Ravelry username, Pearl Viola. She asked us, what is our favorite Canadian province?
But it can't be one you lived in.
Okay, why not?
Like,
What
well,
if that's your favorite? What if you've
well,
only
it's-
ever been to one?
Okay.
Well, I haven't been, but
That
okay.
doesn't- Yeah.
Okay.
You can pick your own, but you have to pick another one.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like something a
So
bit...
do you want me to go?
You go.
So I've lived in Manitoba and Ontario.
Okay.
I have not traveled east of Ontario
Okay.
yet. Yet. No, I haven't. In terms of like places I've traveled, like I think Alberta, BC, like the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah.
So Banff, Canmore, Lake Louise, like that's just, I could have lived there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
It's gorgeous.
I just love it. And the climate isn't, well, a lot more snow, but Vancouver, I don't think I could live, again, earthquakes and rain.
Right. Yeah.
I need sun. So, yeah.
So funny that you say that.
What's yours?
I used to live in Winnipeg, like in Manitoba.
Did I
And
know this?
You did know this.
We've talked about
We've
this.
laughed about this.
Okay.
And then I've lived in Ontario. And I am an Eastern girl.
You like going?
Meaning
See, I haven't been there yet.
I've been to Quebec, I've been to New Brunswick, I've been to Nova Scotia, and I've been to PEI. And I think out of all of them, Nova Scotia holds a special part in my heart. Like it was beautiful, gorgeous.
I would
very
like
laid
to go.
back. But then there's the French, and I do speak French, so that's kind of And Quebec is always beautiful.
See, I haven't been yet. I have a friend, an old friend actually.
Is it Patty?
No, not Patty. She's still in Pennsylvania. You got to move somewhere, Patty. You got to move soon so I can travel somewhere else. No, actually, one of the girls I traveled with in Australia years ago lives in PEI, and so I have a friend there to go and visit, and probably could stay a night with her. And I would love it there. I know I would because of the ocean.
Oh.
The only thing is I can't stand fish and seafood, so I worry sometimes about restaurants. But but I mean, I know I would like it. Yeah.
I love it, and
lots of yarn shops,
seafood,
which is another reason for Portland. I think I would really love to go to Portland, Oregon.
Yep. Let's go.
Just culture, like the lifestyle, and that would be a nice trip. I don't know if it would be a good family trip. It'd be
what are you doing next week?
Money, baby. Got to buy a lotto ticket.
I know. I'm kind of stuck. I can't go anywhere until I get back.
Yeah. What about other travel?
Okay.
You have a trip planned.
I have a trip coming up
this year.
Yep. And
tell us about that.
I'm going to Scotland
with your family.
I'm going with my parents, my mom, my dad, my brother, his lovely wife, Andrea. Hi, Andrea. And Ashlyn, and my daughter and I. Yeah. So it'll be fun. We've rented apartments and stuff along the way. So it'll be kind of nice.
And you're going for 3 weeks? 2.
3 and a bit. Wow. 3 and a bit. Yeah.
Nice.
Man is very surprised at this. So
yeah.
I'm more of a homebody, but it's kind of a shocker.
It'll be awesome.
Oh, it'll be awesome. I have no...
Where else? Outside of Canada and the US have you?
I've been to Mexico, countless, probably 3 times. I have been to Dominican probably about 3 times. I have been to Cuba numerous times. 2 times. Sorry, 2 times to Cuba. I went to France when I was 16. And what else? That's all I can think of when you put me on the spot.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I
have not been to Mexico yet.
No?
No, isn't that crazy? Like, that's such a popular winter vacation spot. And we haven't. Or Cuba. Or I would like to go to Mexico to the Mayan Riviera.
Yeah, that's pretty...
Because of all the... I want to do the ruins, like go see the Mayan ruins. I want to do some touristy things, not just stay at a resort. And
we did that the first time we went.
Yeah. And Jack would like that too. Like, we would go as a family.
Do you know what I loved? When we went to Cozumel, you could actually swim and you could see the fish, and they all come up and stuff. That was a lot of fun.
I did that in Australia.
Yeah.
We did a catamaran trip to the outer reef and to this, I think it was called Green Island. It was, and you could snorkel there, and like the fish just, like they're all around you. Yeah. And you just move your hands, and it's like they just escape your fingertips. Like you can't, but it's amazing. And I wasn't doing scuba diving or anything deep, but just around the island, and there were rays, and
I know, it's awesome.
Amazing. Yeah. I've been to
Australia's pretty much on my bucket list.
Well, Australia. I lived there for 6 months in a sort of a gap year. And then I hit... Really?
She's over
my cat. There. My cat hasn't been anywhere. Well, she's been on a plane.
Yes, she's...
I've... on the way home from Australia, we went to New Zealand for a couple days. Or maybe it was just 1 night. 2 nights? Yeah. New Zealand, stopped there. Fiji for almost a week. Just laid on a beach. Like, oh, that's nice. It was nice.
Yeah.
Hawaii, and then home. And I went to France the year I turned 40 with some girlfriends.
Nice.
We did, yeah. It was just we went for a week to Paris, and then we took the high-speed train to, south to Marseille, Yeah, Marseille, because our friend from high school lives there now. And
Nice.
so we went, she actually came to Paris to meet us for the first night. She spent the night with us.
That's awesome.
Well, it was because she helped us understand the whole subway system to get around. Like she explained kind of, and And we actually functioned okay, like French-wise. We could communicate enough. And and then we went to Marseille to meet her husband and kids who we've
Nice.
had.
Might as well. You're there, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
And you know what? We should have spent another week. And like
Always
Marseille
the
is
right.
right on the coast. Like we were like, I don't know, 2 hours drive from like Nice. We could have got like driven the coast, gone to Nice, Monte Carlo.
I was in Nice when we were there.
That would have been amazing. So
And it was kind of neat because we went everywhere. I went everywhere with the family that I stayed
beautiful.
with. And but they lived in the Champagne region, but they had a cottage at Lac Annecy, which was like cottage country, so that was really nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
French countryside.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have any further travel plans right now.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's all right.
That's it.
That's it.
How are we doing? We're just about half an hour. That's pretty good. We like to keep these ones a little bit shorter, right? I did a few rows.
We should remind people to leave your questions on the Ravelry thread, because it's always interesting to see the questions, but it's also really interesting to see what you answer.
Tracy asked us a question about our tastes in music, and it's like that's a totally separate episode because
I just need noise. I don't really care.
oh
what's
no,
on,
my taste in music is like eclectic, and it has
yeah
not so much changed over the years, but there's like you go through different
keep
phases.
adding stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty broad. So that'll be a fun conversation for next time.
Yeah.
And we our next actual regular podcast will be sometime probably in the next 2 weeks. We don't have like a rigorous schedule. We sort of do it when it works out. But after this weekend, we will have some giveaway prizes to draw for.
We have to do the giveaways.
Oh, and we started a new knit along that we didn't announce on the last podcast.
Oh yeah. I have to get my dishy before I leave.
Yeah, I put it on Ravelry. It's stuff you can't wear. So inspired by the bowl that I crocheted, and so anything that's not a garment, other than like if it's a tote bag, that would be okay, but not like socks, hat,
I wouldn't
shawl,
think of
scarf.
wearing a tote bag, but I can see your point.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because it's like a bowl.
What are you
it's a
thinking
function.
of? What are you thinking you might make?
Well, I already did a dishcloth, which nobody's seen yet. Well, I did it for the last Friday for the Fiber Friends knit in Friday night. Did a dishcloth, and I have more to make. I have some felting, some bowls that I actually made but need to felt.
Oh, nice!
So I haven't. They're like ready for a long time. So maybe I'll finish those. And I do have yarn that I bought to make like a market bag.
Oh, good.
Like just a mesh type. Like
Man,
a long
we should
time
have done
ago.
this one for a long time.
I know. So I could do that.
Very good.
Anything goes. So placemats, coasters, weaving. Like if you want to knit, crochet, weave. So if you're a weaver, you could do, towels, tablecloth, table runner, anything like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do planters.
It's pretty broad. Tea cozy, if you
I think I might do planters.
like little plant covers.
Little pot. Like,
do you want to
they have
borrow
them in pods?
Oh, the felted ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I might do those for succulents.
I have the pattern for those cabled ones too, if you want to borrow that.
I might do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's about it. One of these days, we don't have time today, but one of these days we'll try a live video.
Let's do it when I'm not stuffed up.
We know what we could do. We could do it on your personal account, because no one subscribes, and then just kind of watch it after and see how it was. Because we don't know when you're live. You don't know. Is the sound good? I mean,
totally got it.
In theory,
Totally.
if it works for your normal setup, it should work for a live video, right?
Should.
But I can monkey with it when it's a recorded video. I can, like I usually do. I up the sound of our voices.
Especially mine.
Yeah. And when you're live, if you goof or the phone rings or your cat chirps, you can't cut that out.
Or you have to sneeze.
Or you have to sneeze. Or your husband comes home. Whatever it is. So, yeah. I think that's about it.
That's about it.
Thanks for watching, and thanks for knitting with us. And we will see you again soon.
Happy knitting. See you soon.
Make time to make something. Bye.
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 Bye. You say bye.